Pounders, welcome back. You might notice something a little different this episode. We're taking over the Pounders channel as Pat is down, soaking up Florida Rays, probably sipping on some cold Coronas, uh, playing some pickleball. But today, we're going to talk some NFL news, combine results, ADP risers for you guys. And without further ado, please welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Drew, also known as Tbbucs. Drew, welcome,
What's
man.
up? Pounders takeover, baby. I love it.
How's it going, man?
How are you? I'm good. Fighting off COVID, like I told you, but we're gonna pound some drafts out, talk some combine stuff. Yeah,
Let's
be
do
fun.
it, man. Yeah, for sure. And guys, please hang with us. We're not experts like Pat, right? We're like the junior varsity team here. We're just trying to bring some content for you guys while Pat's enjoying himself down in Florida. But yeah, let's talk some NFL news. I think the first thing we should discuss is Mike Evans, right? We just got the final word on Mike Evans' situation. He looks like he's going to remain a Tampa Bay Buck for 2 more years for $52 million. Drew, what's your thoughts on this? You must be happy. You're a Tampa Bay fan.
Yeah, I love it, man. I've been saying in the Discord from the start, he ain't going anywhere. Like everyone kept saying, oh, he could go to KC, he could go to Houston. It was never going to happen. He was seeing what he could get elsewhere. Tampa's got a ton of money. Like I told you, he ain't moving his family after 11 years in Tampa. No, he's going to break records, another 1,000-yard season. I know he wants that 1,000-yard season too. And what better place to get it? Baker's going to pepper you with targets, man.
So now, what do you think this does for him in Underdog? Do you think his ADP is gonna stay around where it is? Do you think it should rise a little bit? I mean, based on what you inferred already, like people should have already taken into consideration he was going to be a Tampa Bay Buck.
Yeah.
So drafting him
been in the Discord.
Yeah. So drafting him, nothing much really should have changed then. For like where his ADP is. So do you think?
I mean, I still think he's cheap.
Yeah, cheap.
Yeah.
Do you think he's like around maybe like maybe where Jalen Waddle, Jalen Waddle should be getting drafted in these? Like he should be around that range.
Like both of them should go.
Metcalf.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
They're paired. I've got like 25% of each of them.
Yeah. And it's also interesting with Mike Evans now because like we have to now look into the free agency because he's one more elite receiver not available now for other teams that are trying to bring in a guy. And so that's going to leave us like with, in my opinion, we have like tier 1 guys, which are like Pittman, Ridley, maybe Gabe Davis based on like what we know he can do in the right system, maybe. But I could even drop
Gabe Davis. Played with an elite quarterback, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not in the same tier as Pittman and Ridley. He's got to be in like a special tier, maybe like a mid tier. But then you have like your next guys, which is like Tyler Boyd, Rashid Shaheed, Curtis Samuel. Like those are the guys that are available now if a team's trying to bring in a receiver without Evans being available anymore. So it's interesting to think about like what how we should be drafting these kind of players. And Pittman goes before Evans too.
Yeah, I don't get that. Why are we drafting Pittman before Evans? Who's making that click? Like, what's the? Someone talk me into it, because.
Well, if you are a believer that he's gonna be a Colt, a lot of people are high on the appeal of Anthony Richardson in that offense. I think he's a better quarterback than what he had last season when he got hurt. So
but
there is potential for him.
Stoked about him throwing for 4,500 yards, and they're excited about him running it.
Correct. Right. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
What's that do for Pittman?
Right. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I don't necessarily disagree with you on that by any means. So I think it's just an interesting thing to think about now with big boards, and maybe we'll see Mike Evans slowly take over Pittman's spot in ADP before this thing closes.
Maybe.
Let's talk some NFL Combine. There are definitely some rookies now that are going to probably see a huge increase in their ADP based on how they performed. And I think there's some guys that their stock has tanked a little bit. Um, I remember I jumped into a big board kind of right after we got some of the scores for the receivers and running backs, and I was seeing like all these guys that tested well. They were just flying up the board, like we're talking 15, 20 picks, and I thought I
Yeah.
would be able to like come in and scoop up some value on them, and dead wrong. So I think guys like Jalen Wright, we're gonna see he's gonna fly up these boards pretty fast. Trey Benson tested pretty well. He's kind of
Yeah.
already rich, I would say, for running backs, but he probably should be drafted more, or he should be at a higher ADP.
He should probably be the running back 1.
Yeah, he could be, based on
Like,
where
for
he's
rookies.
already at.
Like, why are we taking Dylan Brooks over him? Like, man just blew his knee in November,
Right.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand the
Like,
Brooks click so much with the injury history with that,
is
but
it Dylan Brooks?
I think it's
What's his
Jonathan
first name?
Brooks.
Jonathan Brooks. Goodness, I was combining him and Dylan Johnson.
Yeah, there you go. You don't want to do that.
No. Who else is
Um,
in there?
we got some other names. I know Vidal out of Troy is a guy that's been shopped around our Discord a little bit. He tested pretty well, so I think he's going to be in more teams now after his combine scores. He tested well. Marshawn Lloyd out of USC, he did pretty well. Then we go down. We have Ray Davis, kind of in the middle of the pack. So that's I was pretty happy with how he did, based on
Yeah,
how
I
I
mean, he didn't
drafted
bomb.
him. Yeah, it definitely didn't bomb like uh, Audric Esteen, who's now one of probably the biggest downgrades for clicks.
Yeah.
He kind of ran like Eddie Lacy, so
Yeah, he's
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 not
gonna be
he's
like a
not he's not
short
going to be doing so
yardage.
well.
No. Nope.
Um, for receivers, right? We had Worthy, who absolutely broke the sound barrier.
Ran out the gym.
4.21. Faster than confirmed, by the way, faster than Usain Bolt. 40's time.
Pretty cool.
He is fast.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of knew he was gonna. What did we think he was gonna run? Like, we thought he
Yeah,
was gonna blaze.
I don't know, but
So
4.21 is probably not where like the books
no,
numbers were. So
I just
uh,
we knew he was gonna blaze. I just don't like counting it twice, right? Like
yeah,
it's cool and like he's really fast, but yeah.
and I know Pat was pretty big on Worthy. He liked him before the combine, so I'm sure he's really happy with his combine scores. But he's definitely a player that's now going to be a lot more expensive,
Yeah.
unless you're going to start doing some drafts now, because in a couple weeks these are guys that are going to be like you're going to see they're going to move up like 20 spots, maybe more. Um,
Yeah.
we have Brian
This
Thomas,
is
who scored well.
yeah, that's the one I regret the most out of I did end I'm at 13% right now, but Mr. Godwin might have gotten in the way of Brian Thomas getting a little bit higher.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. Like when I was doing my drafts early on, I definitely should have clicked him more, but I was definitely more focused on tight ends in that range and a few running backs that I just thought were safer at the time. But if you were clicking on him early on, like again, he's a player that's definitely going to rise now in ADP.
Yeah. Well done.
AD Mitchell. Just gonna list, the guys that are in the boards that tested below these guys, but all pretty good times. Mitchell, Walker, Jacob Cowing, Roman Wilson, Ladd, who our Discord loves,
Yeah.
Xavier Leggett, Troy Franklin, Ricky Pearsall. I would say pretty much that's the most notable ones for the 40 times, and these are all guys that you can pull up the NFL tracker, guys, and like obviously find these numbers, and these are guys you should try and like I think pinpoint a little bit and focus them more than other rookies.
What are we doing with Keon Coleman?
Yeah, and he's another
What are
one.
we
I think
doing?
he's a fade now based on his combine test scores.
That man face planted.
Um,
What happened?
yeah, bad. It was a bad look. not great. So him and S-Team are two guys that I'm gonna fade now for the time being. I don't want
Yeah,
any
he's
shares.
gotta fall. I don't even know where to click him now when he's falling. Like,
I would just avoid him, man. I would just look for other
I mean,
names.
he's still gonna get. I would bet you he still goes second round. I bet
No,
he. I
his
bet that he
his
does.
tape is
So
there.
like,
Everybody knows he's a good player, but this doesn't help his case whatsoever, though. Outside of that,
I'm a Florida State fan, and even I'm like, hmm.
yeah,
Like Johnny Wilson looks pretty intriguing though, at
yeah,
6'7", and dude, he's agile, man. Dude
yeah,
can has
very
some wiggle
agile.
to his hips.
Someone that size
This
should
is
not be that
nuts.
agile. That's for sure.
He ain't
I
gonna
was
go to
surprised
tight
his
end.
vertical wasn't so good though. He didn't test that great for vertical, being so tall.
Yeah,
But
he
when you're
doesn't
that
have to
size
jump that
anyway,
high.
like
Yeah,
there's
just put his
very few
hands up.
cornerbacks that are going to be able to match up against that in the red zone. I think that could be like what his role is as a rookie.
Nah. Well, those are just
Um,
as a Florida State fan, I figured I'd bring both of them up.
yeah,
But
good
Johnny Will,
shots for
like
sure.
I feel like 20th round, he is if he stays there for a minute, we should be snagging him because
Yeah,
that's fun.
and so I made a chart. I'm not going to present it. It's in our Discord. Feel free, guys. There's a link probably for our Discord, for Pat's Discord, for the Pounders channel in here. I posted it in that. It's on my Twitter as well. But after seeing some of these numbers um, for these the rookies receivers, I'll do a running backs, tight ends one. But the receivers really caught my eye the most. And I wanted to compare last year's class of receivers to the scores for this year, and I was like blown away. I mean, this class would absolutely smoke last year's class if they were all like together in a combine. I mean, most of these guys that we've already talked about, like going down to like the Ricky Pearsall range, ran like better than pretty much all the top receivers that played as rookies last year, numbers wise.
Yeah, we
Like
had some
Zay
track stars
Flowers,
this year.
Jaden Reed, Tank Dell, Josh Downs, Addison, like all these guys that performed pretty well as rookies. I mean, this class, they look good numbers wise for the combine.
Yeah. And we liked them before the combine, right? Like this was a class that we were excited about. At least 10 plus receivers you could talk yourself into. We were all talking ourselves into at least a handful of the running backs. Like, and the dudes went out and showed out for the most parts. Now
Yeah.
you're pretty much like if you were pounding almost any rookie, right? Like you're pretty happy with how the combine shook out.
Yeah,
Now
outside a few guys, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
like you
there's a
said,
couple, but
yeah, most of them,
for
I
the
would say,
most part, like
for the
you're
most part, they
happy.
all tested pretty well. Like even like
Yeah.
guys like Brendan Rice, they these guys are like they're towards the bottom of the pecking order for like 40 times, like 4.5s, but
Yeah.
they're still right around the same range as like Addison from last year, like 40 wise.
Dude,
So
I
like,
watched a lot of Brandon Rice in Utah, Pac-12 country. The dude is athletic. Like I don't care what you like, watch him play. He's a freak out there. So
well,
he's a
he's
fun
got
one.
pretty
It's
good
like
genes,
yeah. So no, it's
So
fun.
do you want to jump into a big board draft and we'll try and put together a winning team here?
Let's do it.
Let me add this to our screen.
All
Perfect.
righty.
We'll see how many guys. If you want, come
in.
draft with us. See how many spots are left. Let me. There we go. I am like cut off here, so you're gonna get like a weird screen of me. I don't know how to change this, so sorry guys. On my end, I look like I'm like cut off. So
there's got to be a way to move it down, right? Only Pat would have trained us a little better before he just gave us the keys to the freaking kingdom.
There we go.
There it is.
Hey, professional. How many spots are
we're
we
waiting on?
6. 6. Perfect. What else can we talk about news-wise? Anything that I'm missing? Anything you can think of?
That you're missing? No, but I want to talk about Evans again.
Yeah, let's talk it.
So, like, in your opinion, because
Pat's
I know
laughing at us, by the way.
I am already seeing the rose, like, oh, he's got a Bucks hat on. Of course, where are you throwing Evans here in this group? Where do you stick him?
No, he's definitely like I agree with your stance here. I do think his ADP should be higher.
I can't take him. Like, I can't take Tank Dell over him. I don't care if he plays with Stroud. I don't care if he looked good. The man shattered his leg blocking. He's 180 pounds soaking wet. And I got
Yeah.
my man that goes for 1,000 yards and like 8 tutties every season. Like, book it. Like, what are we doing? Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not concerned with like Mike Evans' age, like
No,
30 years old. It
no, the man is
doesn't.
a machine. He is an absolute machine. He hasn't taken even a step back. He hurts his hammy every year, but plays through it. He never misses any games. Like, no,
Yeah.
he is an absolute warrior. I will.
I think in that range, like Laporta is an okay click because if you do think he's tight end one on this year coming up, then you're getting some positional advantage with that click. But
It's
for
just
receivers, yeah, I mean, I do like Mike Evans over like Metcalf, Pittman for now until we know his situation. You know what you're gonna get, like you said with Mike Evans.
if Waddle wasn't right next to Evans, I would have an ungodly amount of Mike Evans going in the 4th round, 3rd round, wherever he's been. Like, I would have so much. But Waddle has been making me a
So Vapor, saying Esteem still had a good combine, elite explosive grade, just had a bad 40. Uh, Irving is the one that really bombed. So
yeah.
that's good to know.
Again, I have not looked in a whole lot to combine stuff yet. I've seen 40s. I've seen a Twitter machine talking about it, but
Here, you can have
you
some
have
beef
any
here.
stands
You're
at
gonna
the
have
top of the
some
draft?
beef here with Tanner. He said I'm taking Tank personally. Shroud Tank connection is real. Tank will never see the slot ever again on a run play.
Yeah, but they're also going to bring someone in, and I get it. I 100% agree, and I think Tank could hurt me. But again, like, I'll bet anyone that Mike Evans has a better season than Tank. So
There we go. We got to
as
take
it
bets
stands
now.
right now, yeah, as it stands right now, like, Tank might hurt me, but I
See
have no
Drew
idea.
in private for any Tank Dell Mike Evans bets.
Yes,
He's taking
Discord,
them.
whatever you want. I don't have much Tyreek Hill. Sorry, we could have talked
So
about that pick, but
for me, you got Jefferson and Chase went before Hill. Is that what happened? I
yeah,
wasn't paying attention.
yeah, yep.
I
We were
think
at
for me that's the
5.
right play. I think you take Tyreek if you don't get Jefferson or Chase. Right now, I do have Jefferson and Chase over Hill personally, but I would take Hill if those guys both got picked before him.
Yeah, and I'm going Chase over Jefferson too. I think the Bengals are going to come out swinging this season.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing last year for them. I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think Burrow's sick of he gets hurt all the time, and they're bringing Higgins back. Yeah,
yeah,
I think the Bengals are
the
going to be a
offense looks
little.
like really appealing, right? So
Oh yeah, do
I
you know
definitely
what
agree with you
pounders
there.
are in this draft? I don't know the names very well. I know Vinny, J Dub,
Yep, we got Vinny here.
Vapor.
Vapors in here. Yep. I've seen Farachi before. I think he's probably like a lurker in Pat's channel.
Shock Trauma, and
And I'm not sure everybody else. But if you guys are in here, let us know where you're drafting.
Ben's at 10.
And Ben's in here.
So yeah, we have a lot of pounders.
We got some pounders.
Oh yeah, you guys probably want to see the board too. I don't know how to make it bigger though.
Is it good now?
Is that better? That good?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Looks good to me.
Wait. All right. What are you doing in this spot usually, Nick? I'm usually grabbing one of these running backs.
Passing on this range of running backs with Kyron.
You are.
Taylor.
See,
I do mix in
grabbing one of these three.
I like mixing in Achan because I think his upside is really good.
Yeah.
We've seen like what he can do, and I as
Yeah,
much as I was on Mostert last season, which was the right play, I think he is going to start taking a backseat to Achan this coming season. I think they're going to like unleash him,
yeah. He
which is
is
kind of how I
tiny,
felt it was going to work.
but he's a freaking firework.
Yeah, yeah.
I would be taking one of these running backs here. What are you usually
Taking
doing here?
Taylor here is fine because you're getting like at this point you're getting ADP value on him, so I don't mind the
Yeah.
click.
Sweet, let's do it.
Yep. I mean, how many times
Taylor
can you
Hill's
pair
got to be
Taylor and Hill?
somewhat
You know,
different.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
gotta
definitely
be
different.
somewhat different. And
And then I would be
don't-
probably we're probably looking at Mike Evans in our third round.
No, we can't take Mike Evans because Pat's an asshole and he took Mike Evans from me.
Mike Evans already got picked.
No, we're not allowed to take Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Demario Douglas, or who's your other receiver you like back there?
I'm big on Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson, yeah. So
But,
he took two bums from you, and he took Mike Evans and Chris Godwin from me. And then we get to give 4 YouTube memberships to some people who are chilling, watching the live stream.
Oh, this is a rule. You're not allowed to take Mike Evans for the stream.
No, and you can't take those two.
Wait, I'm not in this draft.
I know, but it means I can't take them either.
I see.
Oops,
I
should go back to the draft.
This is like a contest rule.
Damn it, Nick. Read your DMs.
Oh, shit. All right, no Mike Evans. Fine. Challenge accepted.
All right. What are we doing here? I mean, do we do it?
No. Just
no. Okay. Let's Waddle.
I like Waddle. I like the Waddle click if he makes.
Thanks, Benny. Benny just took it away from us.
Adam says, just take Evans and save Pat some money.
No, we are gonna milk it. All 4 of them are being given out on the next.
We're standing our
right.
to our guns here.
All right, Waddle it is.
I like it.
I was gonna do Tank.
I like Waddle. I do.
Well, I do too.
I think he's an undervalued receiver. Pat's already mentioned him a lot, and I do agree with him.
All right, so we got the double Dolphin stack with Jonathan Taylor.
We just need to make sure we bring in Tua. Like, if we have to reach, we have to do it.
Dude, if someone snipes Tua from us in this room.
Just plain mean.
Yeah. I'm not going to reach on Tua. I'm not doing it. One of you assholes.
I know you don't want to, but to play into like the narrative of this squad, like if this is a finals team and Hill and Waddle actually do go off. I get it.
Who the hell's taking Tua? We know.
Well, I'm just saying you don't want to lose on them.
Yeah. I like to gamble, Nick. I thought you knew this about me.
This is like, we're like yin and yang. We got to balance each other out a little bit here.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can talk about Tua when it gets closer. See that? Pat just posted it in the chat. 1 YouTube membership will be given away for each of the following.
So Mike Evans, Godwin, Demario Douglas.
How are you going to take 2 studs from me? And then he's like, oh, yeah, Nick can't take Demario and Michael Wilson.
Honestly, though, where Michael Wilson
you snipe Tua goes, and I will make sure that no memberships get given out.
Where Michael Wilson was going in the drafts where I was clicking him a ton, there was like, a lot of access to like guys like Worthy and trying to think of some of the receivers in his range that were rookies that tested well. And I do kind of wish now that I didn't overload it, but
nah, it happens.
I'm going to stick to my stance on Michael Wilson. I still believe in him.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably on the field a lot in an offense that everyone's going to upgrade here in a couple months.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't hate the pick. I don't think I would have pack to
So
back to
much,
go to
so
Europe
much
with that
exposure
pick.
to one player. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, best case scenario, the Cardinals don't get Marvin Harrison. Maybe something crazy does happen, like Bears end up sticking with Fields and they do something nuts, or maybe the Patriots take Marvin Harrison over a quarterback. But
All right, what are you doing here, Nick?
Lamar
Lamar?
Jackson's a
Are
pretty easy
you
click.
okay? All right. See,
Do you
now
like?
I'm
Well, well,
100%
well,
not
well, hold
reaching
on.
on Tua. Yeah, no. My ass is taking Rome if it's not Odunze here, but you need to talk fast if you want something.
I like. Let's take Lamar. Let's take Lamar, and then we can go with Tua and do a two quarterback build. I think Lamar is actually good for this, for those weeks where Tua's not, you know, because he's not like a huge upside quarterback as much as Lamar could
Tua?
be.
Yeah. Fair enough, but I do think that it pushes it to we don't have to reach on Tua now. We never have to reach on Tua with
No, I do agree with
Lamar at
that. That
quarterback.
we can try and push and get value on Tua. But I do like
Sweet.
having like a Jackson to a two quarterback team. Like it feels
Oh,
good.
I do too. I'm sticking at two quarterbacks, even if our second quarterback is I don't know, someone at the end. JJ
Um,
McCarthy.
so Pat wants to know your exposure on Rome.
30.
Also impressive. Pat's able to talk in chat
30.
while playing pickleball. It's impressive.
30% Rome. Second highest rookie, Pat. Jalen Wright's first at 37. Okay, what are we doing now? We probably need a receiver, especially
Yeah.
since we can't take Godwin.
I do like Terry and Ridley.
See, I'm going Terry, Ridley, and Kirk before I click Jordan Addison.
Same. I have
Perfect. See,
like no. I might not have a single share of Edison, which just my belief.
McBride interest you at all at 53?
I would prefer to get maybe one of these receivers, but yeah, McBride's
We're going a little
like
thin on
an
you.
okay click.
All right, Kirk it is then. I like it.
There we go. Tanner says, "Why the Addison hate?" Personally for me, like with the situation for the Vikings, like I just need to know like who's the quarterback, who's throwing the ball before
Mm,
I get involved in that situation. We know that the best case for him would be if Jefferson somehow moves on, like he's traded. Like there's been rumors
and
in New
Kirk comes
York
back.
on the fan about Jefferson being a Jet because if they're trying to push for a Super Bowl, like they want to bring in another weapon outside Garrett Wilson, and Jefferson kind of fits the bill for them. And Vikings are a team that's really not contending next season. So, if they keep Jefferson, they're going to probably end up having to pay this guy a ton. Following, next year, they don't have to worry about that problem if they trade him away.
Yeah.
Um, but if
If you think
he's
he's gonna leave like Jefferson, then yeah, you should be taking Addison. For me, I just like Terry's the one in Washington.
yeah,
Ridley, I,
he's
I
probably
think he's
going to
not
be the
gonna go
one in
back. Yeah,
Jacksonville
it's
or somewhere
somewhere.
else.
I think he's
Yeah.
going somewhere, but I think Kirk's gonna be the one in Jacksonville. Like I'd just rather not have the second fiddle to Justin Jefferson when I could get these guys that I would
That's exactly
bet
kind of how
are
I feel
going
like.
to have more. And then the quarterback, like it sounds like Kirk's leaving. They're not going
Yep.
to be in line to get one of the top three guys. So it's like, do you like JJ McCarthy? Do you like Russell Wilson going to Minnesota? Do you like what are we doing there? So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at. I don't
Yeah.
hate Addison though. I actually do like him as a player. I just
The
in
situation
this
is what
contest right
is what's
now,
throwing you
yeah,
off.
not necessarily what I want to be investing in.
Yeah. And also ADP and what players are around him. Like that's for me, I like you said before, like I feel more comfortable taking Terry and Ridley. Um, there's less question marks with those kind of players. They have experience. They put up, pretty, you know, good numbers. I mean,
And we could take
Terry's like
Trevor
one of the
Lawrence
most
as our
consistent
second quarterback
receivers,
now.
in my opinion. Like
Yeah. Oh yeah, Terry.
maybe
You know what you're
Addison might
getting
have a
out of
higher
it.
ceiling game for game, but
Maybe. I feel like it's pretty close.
yeah.
I have no. Do you know who the top guy projected to Minnesota if Kirk leaves is?
No, I have no clue.
I haven't heard anything. I have heard some like draft trades of them getting a quarterback, but all right, what are we doing here? Don't even say Christian Watson. It's not going to happen.
No, definitely
We
not.
could go Hopkins. Okay. We could go Kincaid.
I like Kincaid or Stevenson in this range. Stevenson a little bit more. If we can't get Douglas, maybe we can get a different Patriot player.
I'm starting to think you are a closet Pats fan, Nick.
I'm buying into this. Stevenson. He kind of talked himself up a little bit. He wants to be, the feature back in New England, and I think it would make sense if he was.
Stevenson's gone.
Yeah.
Do you want Kincaid? Had we taken Tank Dell, we'd have got some pretty sweet Stroud value.
Yeah, I like Kincaid here. Second option, possibly their top option if Diggs isn't there. So
we're gonna have to slam some receivers here in a minute because it's gonna get ugly.
Yeah, no, I do. I think do you have much Stevenson? Do you click him much? Do you pass on him?
I like him, and I try to click him. I don't know how much I have though. Let me look. Because I do think like he's going to be one of the main focal points of that offense, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, his backup running back is going to be Kevin Harris, who's actually not a really bad running back, but he's definitely not going to be taking over Stevenson's role, in my opinion. I mean, I could see them maybe bringing in like a complimentary piece to him because they don't want to like just completely like give this guy like 270 plus touches. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't think they want to beat the
back
wheels off
that?
of him, but I do think they want to, use him.
Okay. Do you want to scroll down for a receiver? Do you want to double tap tight end to be done? I
don't mind the double tap tight end thing here. What's the receivers looking like for us? I mean, are there any values, any guys that are risers that we can grab? I'm definitely out on
top
Watson.
Rookie.
Troy Franklin. We could consider Troy Franklin, I think.
I'm gonna let you make this call. You want to close off tight end, or you want to snag?
My two receivers that I would consider here, if that's the route you want to take, would be either Troy Franklin or Jacoby Myers. A little bit different in a sense. I think Jacoby's like a safer receiver for floor, but Troy might have a huge ceiling.
All right. You want Troy or Njoku?
I would be Troy here.
All right, let's do it. I think there's a shot Myers comes back to us. I don't want to reach that far.
Got it.
I don't mind the reach. I really don't, but I do think there's a shot. So
yeah,
with all the
rookies,
I think someone's probably grabbing like Ladd, or we are in a Pounder's room. Yep. Where's Ladd going now? You know?
If I had to guess, I think he's like ADP 137 without looking. Can you search it? I don't know. That's my my guess.
I meant like not on ADP. Like, yeah, he's at 132. Okay. Like, where have you seen him going? If you've done, I've only done like two.
The highest when I was in that draft I was telling you about, where like people were kind of reaching all over the place after the combine results. Yeah. He was at the 120, 121 turn. Somebody took Worthy and Ladd together at like, pick one. So.
Okay.
And I think that's fair to do that. He's not making it back to you on that if you're the one spot. So.
Like, everyone thought the rookies were overpriced. I thought they were underpriced the entire time this was going on. That's why I have so much of them, man. I told you I have like, what did I say? Like 15 or something, over 20% owned. Like it's a solid number. Then I got a bunch of 18%. Like I've got a lot of freaking rookies.
Yeah,
We'll
and
slow
look,
down
I
on them
mean, the
now a
thing
little
is, we were
bit, but
talking about this. I still think that even if they test well at a combine, like there's still some extra hurdles for these players as rookies. They still have to come into the right team. They have to be on the right offense. They have to earn the trust of the quarterback, of the coaches. It's not just because like, hey, they test well, they're automatic starters. Some of these guys are still gonna have to like get up to speed with the NFL.
it's fair. It does seem to be happening faster and faster every year, though. So I think we're in the new age.
Yeah, and we're seeing like a decline in some of the players, like in terms of age and things like that. Like we're getting
Mhm.
this turnover between a lot of positions. Like the Kelsey Kittles, they're getting older. We have guys like Henry and Eckler and those
Yeah,
running
what a
backs, they're getting
perfect
older.
time for Laporta and Kincaid. Like, what is
Yeah,
going on there?
yeah, exactly.
All these guys are gone. It's like,
And
oh, here's all the new ones you need.
Trey McBride's going
Yeah.
into his third year, so um,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of good young tight
Nice.
ends.
All right. What are we looking? Jacoby still there? Are you doing much Deontay? I'm still clicking him.
I like Jacoby
And I
over
like
him
Downs.
for sure. But there is some appeal in Deontay. I think he is mispriced.
I like Downs for a little Colts stack.
I mean, we're looking at a guy that didn't really have a great year without really scoring a lot of touchdowns. If you look at Deontay's numbers, they were like 120-ish for fantasy. But like the year before that, I think he posted like 200 points or something. So like we know the
Yeah.
player he can be. I just think yeah, he had a bad year. But
There's been
Jacoby has been more consistent, like you know, overall. I mean, solid numbers for Jacoby.
fair enough. Like I said, I like both of them. I've been clicking Deontay a little more recently. Um, I've
We could
heard
have
and
considered maybe like Ferguson. Like I'd like that click too. But depends on how we want to build this team. I think Ferguson like is a drop in tight ends after him because you have guys like Hawkinson that might not be ready to start the year. Um, I don't mind Goddard. Like if they don't get AJ Brown back too, like Goddard is going to get a boost.
that's another one I don't believe. AJ Brown isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, same.
The Eagles be
I've been
so
stacking
dumb.
Hurts and AJ Brown a lot, but I do think Goddard's still in a good offense, right?
Yeah. AJ Brown, like Eagles are a step away from the Super Bowl 2 straight years. And what do? Let's go trade AJ Brown.
Yeah, wouldn't
Makes
make
sense.
it doesn't make sense to me either.
That's why I always like in my mind, Higgins was getting franchise tagged and going back to the Bengals. Like they have a window right now. They're not just gonna let him go. Like
Right.
they could bring it back. Like it's not
Yeah.
that hard.
Yep.
All
100%.
right.
Now this is I think where do you gamble on Tua? And you want to try and push him to the following round?
I would, but
Okay.
I'm also open to if you're not, I don't love the board. I'd have taken Downs over him. I like Javante. I'm like somewhat clicking Mixon. I'm not like this is a rough area. I don't know. I feel like one or two of these guys will probably pop this season, but we're gonna get a
Yeah,
lot.
I'm off on Eckler for sure unless he falls like another round and you're just forced to like, take a shot at him. Mixon
So
is
what are
I
you
don't
thinking here? We could Rashid, Xavier Worthy, pull him up
Xavier
to
Worthy
100.
maybe, but I think you try and get Tua if I'm building this team. I'd be afraid of him not coming back.
He's coming back. Who
All
do you
right,
want other than Tua?
Worthy.
You choose.
Worthy.
Where is he?
Bring him up.
Oh, son of a bitch.
All right, we didn't get
My fault.
It's all right.
Rookie streamer. Sorry. We'll get him later. No, Tua's coming back to us. Like these guys all have. This dude's got 2 quarterbacks. He has 2 quarterbacks. He has 2 quarterbacks. Like
The Worthy click might have been aggressive too. Like I'm not sure how much we would have risen that ADP. if we made that click. Well, I don't even know where you had to scroll down like for like a minute.
I mean,
So
I know. I honestly, I would have unstarred Javante. I thought he was closer than he was. I was like, oh shit, just
how many
keep on
picks
going.
before ADP was worthy at that point? Do you know?
Like 20. He's gonna go soon though. Like I don't
No,
think that's
I know. It's not. It's
egregious.
yeah.
Where
I
is he?
agree. I agree.
28.
About
28. Like he's
28
off the board
spots.
soon. He ain't coming back to us.
Probably not. Well,
Or
you also can't.
maybe he
You
will to
also
this one.
can't get the Tua worthy combination probably if we don't click him there because if you take Tua next, your next pick, Worthy's definitely not coming around.
I mean, we could always go Trevor Lawrence too.
Yeah, we have the stack there too. That's a good backup. I don't mind that. Either Tua or Trevor is a good 2 quarterback build. Unfortunately, I think we're kind of stuck taking if both these quarterbacks are presented to you. I think you're kind of stuck with Tua based on the fact we have his 2 best receiving options. But
Or if they're both there, we could take one of our receivers and just see which one comes back to us.
okay, maybe take Worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I like Zamir. I do like Zamir too. I clicked him a lot.
Yeah. I
See, this is probably my problem is because like this was the range where if Zamir and Worthy were on the board next to each other, like before the combine, I was definitely scooping up Zamir.
Zamir. See, and I was the opposite. I was grabbing Worthy, Ladd, Benson.
Yeah.
Pretty much all those guys. Like I don't have a whole lot of Zamir. I do have some though.
Yeah, I mean, my thinking with Zamir is really realistically just drafting him for best case scenario, which is Jacobs not returning, and I think he would be the feature back. But it might not even work that way. Who knows? If Jacobs resigns, my bags are crushed. I mean, he's not really going to be an afterthought.
This should be a new game to see how far we could push Tua when we're in a room like this that
you're sick.
That no one has the Dolphins. Like
I don't hate
you
this.
dick Vapor.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Trevor it is. We'll go.
Damn. That felt a little personal. I think Vapor's a good guy too, but
I like Vapor. I'm sure it all fit into his plan, Nick.
Yeah, so Vapor just said he was going to take Ladd instead of Tua. Then someone sniped Ladd, so I guess he just felt he needed to snipe somebody else.
Yeah, if someone snipes you, pull out your sniper and
yeah. He got a little tilted, hurt, and then you got the
do some hurt.
You got the damage.
It's all right. I like Trevor. We should have even taken Trevor. I was kind of spaced we had Jackson for a second.
Ben says, I do not understand hate drafting.
Yeah. It happens. All right.
Unfortunately,
running
we don't get
back or receiver, probably. Yeah, we shouldn't have taken Trevor Lawrence. I'm mad at myself for making that click.
I think it's fine. Honestly, I don't think you're gonna mind it. To be honest, I think it balances your team out with a 2 quarterback build.
Yeah,
there's no unknown. There's no unknown with Trevor Lawrence, right? You know what you're getting with that pick.
I mean, is he very good?
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, like he's been pretty average.
Yeah, he has some rushing upside though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the only question with him. Like, is he who we thought he was?
If they retain Ridley, he's definitely even more valuable. I mean, you're more on the Kirk side of this, but
yeah,
Kirk
I do like Trevor Lawrence.
Kirk benefited a ton from Ridley. I mean, Ridley was soaking up coverage all over the place, and that let Kirk do his thing. So, yeah.
All right, what are you doing here?
Coleman.
I like
for
Chuba.
me, I like Chuba or Zamir. It really just depends on how you look at their situations, right?
I mean,
I think
like
Zamir
Chuba
offers.
more.
I think Zamir offers maybe more upside. He doesn't have Sanders. If they don't bring back Jacobs, I'm saying, but Chuba is technically the starter. Based on last
Yeah.
year's numbers, I like them both.
gonna-
I don't think there's
I'm
a
gonna
role.
let you have Zamir on this one because I probably have too big of a Chuba bag. He's one of my highest owned guys.
And I don't think it's a bad thing. We have two like Raider pieces here with Zamir and Myers.
No, I like
know?
that. We got 2 Dolphins. We got 2
I mean, you're
Raiders.
basically rooting on their offense here a little
Yeah.
bit. Their offense, if their offense is clicking, it should benefit having these pieces.
Mini stacks are the best. We should. I want Likely at some point.
Okay. What's your take on Likely?
I mean, I think we saw it, right? If Andrews goes down, dude's freaking good. And
Right.
even if he doesn't, I mean, you got to put him on the field some next year.
Do you think also with maybe the Zay Flowers drama going on that he's worth a click? I mean, what do you think Zay Flowers?
Zay Flowers
is
drama. What am I missing? Have I been living under a rock?
he had some like bad domestic violence charges against him.
Oh no, I don't give a.
Ravens
I
are
care,
kind of investigating it and taking it seriously,
Yeah.
so to speak. So
no, I mean I care, but I also don't care for Bestball. So
okay.
No.
I mean, I don't
But no,
think
I just think
I don't think he's not going to be playing, but I
No.
mean,
yeah, that doesn't worry me. That
and
they're
I did
NFL
forget we
players,
do have Jackson
unfortunately.
on this team, so likely does make sense. Yeah, bring in some.
Oh yeah, that's why I was saying that.
Yeah,
because I do like Isaiah Likely. I don't click him a whole lot.
Yeah.
Okay. We haven't looked at anyone else's teams, but here's a board for everyone.
We can.
Has there been any egregious
We'll do a
picks?
recap at the end of this.
Yeah.
The Pounders.
So like, Lad went here. Where did Worthy go? Oh, right.
I mean, dude, Lad is getting steamed, right? I mean, that's like what 15 picks.
Lad is going to be the most common mocked player to the Kansas City Chiefs for the next month and a half, and people are going to eat it up like no tomorrow. I will bet right now, as the mock drafts start coming out, every single one of them, Lad to the Chiefs.
Right. Yeah, that would definitely help his ADP.
So, all right, what are we doing now? We got 3 running backs. Could probably use another running back.
This is a good range. This is a better range for running backs and receivers, in my opinion. So,
I'm clicking Herbert. Who are you going at here?
I have like no Herbert because I don't like the running back committee with Rashawn, but I think Singletary could be interesting depending on what team he lands in. Miller, if you don't believe in Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these guys, like people are big on Charbonnet. I get it, and Herbert,
I don't have much Singletary,
but with guys like Charbonnet and Herbert, like they're in running back committees, so like it's tough to gauge what kind of usage they're going to have when Charbonnet has to compete with Walker. Herbert has to compete with Roschon Johnson. Like, it's not a 20-touch backfield for a single player.
I mean, do you think Devin Singletary's going somewhere and getting?
Yeah, depending on what team. I could see him if the Giants move on from Barkley. I think he's a good fit for the Giants that need a running back on kind of the cheap. Like, he's not going to demand what these other running backs are looking for in free agency. He's not a big enough name to demand a bag like that. So, I think so.
Okay.
Upside on the right team is better for in my opinion. There are some bets. Obviously, there's a lot of bad spots he could end up being in, like if he's like a complementary back to another piece. But
what are you doing here, Nick?
Wandell.
Oh no, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why didn't Pat put him on the no draft list?
You could like maybe Pat Freiermuth. Do you like that click more?
Yeah.
Okay.
We need to like have a long talk off camera, and you need to talk me into this one, man.
For Wandell,
Yeah, especially with his offensive
I do
lines as
like
you
these
are.
gadget kind of players. Like Wandell is pretty
Not
versatile
very
in a
good,
sense. Well, yet to be seen. That's all I'll
dude.
say.
I mean, I
It's
can't
funny
do
because,
it.
dude, do you think CD Lamb's a good player?
He's pretty good, yeah.
Do you think he like can evaluate talent at his own position?
No, I don't think players can evaluate talent. I think they suck
No.
at it.
So my point's not going to make a lot of sense then, but CD did mention how he thinks Wandell is a very underrated receiver, like one of the shiftiest receivers in the league. So take it
Mhm.
for what it is. I mean, I do think he is their best receiver on the team. I mean, Darren Waller is dust.
I don't
Um,
disagree with that. I mean, I'd probably take
Hyatt
Hyatt
still
over
needs
him,
to
but
take like
that's
another
pretty
step
close.
forward, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Um,
they're both pretty bum, in my
And then
opinion.
I do think even if the Giants bring in a receiver, like a lot of mocks have them bringing in like your boy Rome. Um, I do
I'd
think
love that.
he's still the kind of player that is unique in what he does for the team. Like as a gadget player, like kind of the same thing for like Pop Douglas. Like the way they're going to utilize him is not so much like what most receivers do. Like they need to like screens and stuff like that to get them the ball, and then
Yeah,
they can make plays happen with their feet.
I mean, I'll take Pop over Wandale. Like,
Hmm.
give me a shot on him. I can't do Wandale, man. He hasn't done anything in 2 years.
Yeah, it's not been like a good offense though in terms of like being like wide receiver conducive. Like
But what's
they've
gonna
had
change
um
besides losing your best player?
well that certainly does help in terms of like target share. I mean,
No, I mean like the offense is
Barkley
gonna be
wasn't
even
really
more
on third
shit.
downs much anyway. He was only like 49% of third downs this past season compared to like
What percentage
79%.
of the offense was Barkley, like yardage wise? I'll bet it was a lot. I don't
Uh,
know, but
yeah, it was a good
yeah,
amount.
like all right, what are we doing here?
Well, we just dissed Waller, so we're not taking him. This could be
Oh,
your only good
likely.
pick.
Yeah, sweet.
There we go.
Easy peasy. We're done at tight end. I actually probably would have stopped at 2 there,
No, I think you're
but
good
I
with a
do
third.
want to stack Lamar.
I think you're good here with a third one.
We should have looked for Bateman.
Bateman's way down. You can get him in like the
Oh, yeah,
20th round
there we
or
go.
19th
Is
round,
he
I
going
think.
back to Baltimore? What's his contract look like?
I think
Someone's
he
got
is.
to
I think
know.
the only free agent is Odell. I'll look up Bateman's contract, but I'm pretty sure Odell's the only free agent. He got
Oh,
a
Pat's
4-year
giving out
deal.
freaking memberships over here. Didn't even see this.
So he's on a 4-year deal. Um 2024 is his last year.
Oh shit, we're up. What do you want here?
Ray
You
Davis?
want to? He gone.
He's gone. Curtis Samuel's fine.
Or do you want to go a rookie with like Polk?
I don't think Polk tested so well in his 40 time.
Anyway,
I think he was kind of at the bottom of the list.
Curtis Samuel feels like a nice little. I feel like I'm gonna have a lot of him now that the rookies are gonna shoot past him. Like he's gonna
Yeah,
be
and
like
like we talked about earlier with like the free agency tiers, like outside of Pittman and Ridley, like the next best availables for teams to try and get some experience instead of rookies is like
yeah.
Gabe Davis, Shaheed, Boyd, and Curtis Samuel, right? Like there's not a
I
lot
think
of
Shaheed goes back to the Saints, and I think the
yeah.
other three move on.
So then even more so, then we only have Gabe Davis, Tyler Boyd,
Yeah.
um, and Curtis Samuel outside of Pittman
Mhm.
and Ridley. And
Yeah.
I don't know how you see like I think Pittman will still be a Colt, and I think
I
Ridley
think
has a
he's
good
gonna be a
chance.
Colt. I think he'd be dumb to draft your franchise quarterback that
Yeah,
high and then be like, "Oh, here's a bare cupboard to work with after you
right.
got hurt."
So I
Like,
think Pittman
yeah,
and Ridley have realistic shots of joining their teams. for next year.
Ridley, I'm not as like he feels like a coin flip to me.
Okay.
Pittman, I would bet on, and I'd be shocked if he's not a Colt. Ridley feels like a coin flip.
Yeah. So if we take that hypothetical, and Ridley's a free agent, those receivers like Curtis Samuel, Tyler Boyd, Gabe Davis, they kind of have to wait until Ridley finds a team. Like people are going to prioritize him first. But then there's three guys. So if a team needs, instead of having rookies, if they want like someone with experience, Curtis Samuel fits the bill.
Yeah, I think he's going to land with a pretty nice spot. Do I think he's going to get a ton of targets? Probably not. But hey, if he goes to everyone's dream scenario for every free agent and is a Chief, like he's going to
Or
get a
a
lot of
Bill.
targets.
Or Buffalo Bills.
The Bills, I don't know. He might not see a ton of targets on the Bills, but he's going to get good targets, right? If Diggs leaves,
I want access to an elite quarterback.
Yeah. But like that Chiefs, whatever free agent, rookie, like we do it every year, man. And this is actually going to be a somewhat good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Like last year, we were steaming up like Sky Moore, MBS, and you know how that turned out outside of Rashee Rice, and I guess Kelsey. But Kelsey's ADP was actually pretty incorrect based on his numbers.
Rashee Rice is one I got to talk to Pat about off stream because I can't click him in the second round, man.
Why is that?
He doesn't like he feels like a good weapon, but he's not the best receiver. The dude's ADOT was like under 5 yards last season. Like it's a get the ball in his hands and he's a yards after catch guy. I just wonder what his what his ultimate ceiling is, especially with new guys coming in.
Well, he's gonna have a leg on some rookies.
Oh yeah,
because he's gonna have more
he's
trust
not really
in that offense.
But he's not really the Chiefs receiver one. He's more like Debo is for the 49ers. Like Ayuk's the receiver one, and I feel like whoever the Chiefs bring in is going to be the receiver one, whereas Rice will get like the design touches and he's really good. I'm not bagging on Rice. I just have a hard time with him second round. I feel like the only reason we're doing it second round is because he's Patrick Mahomes' number one guy.
Yeah, and people think he might be the top weapon for him because of Kelsey's age.
And I've just been burned by doing that too many goddamn times. What are we doing here? I haven't been looking.
If you can't get Godwin or Evans, do you like Trey Palmer?
Yes. Yeah, I like Palmer. I think Palmer's going to be good for some spike weeks. Baker missed him on so many bombs last year, it wasn't even funny. Like,
so if we can't get your two top Tampa Bay guys, because we're trying to follow the stream rules.
This is the best thought you've had all stream. Win.
There we go.
All right. So now you talk me through this. I guess we could do it now. The people want to know. How can we be so high on Wandale and not have dimes like at all? You don't even take him if he falls like 30 picks, right?
I don't. But so what I was, I think I've talked to you this off stream, but for me, I think Wandale is not really a quarterback dependent receiver. Like I don't think you need to have a Daniel. I don't think Daniel Jones necessarily needs to be like elite for Wandale to do what I think he's capable of doing, based on like his routes and how they can utilize him.
But he's never been good doing that, like in his career. Like, who do you like here?
Baker's a good click. I like Baker here.
Sweet. I'm attempting to get more of him.
Where are we at for receivers?
We only have 4 running backs.
Yeah, so we'll have to hammer some running backs next. I mean, you're good at 8, I think, for receivers. You could allocate an extra spot because we're not going to take a quarterback for a running back here. So
yeah, I think we just slam running back the rest of the way.
Yeah, but back to Wandale. I mean, look, I think he's due. I think he's due.
Fair. I like it.
I've watched enough Giant games.
I've
watched enough Giant games to agree with like CD Lamb's analysis of him. Like he's a very good receiver. I just don't know if they've done a great job at that offense completely. So I think Dable's gotta, figure that shit out. And yeah, for Jones, I mean, dude, I'm a little worried about it, man. I'm worried about his job. I think he's got one foot out the door. Not like him as a player, but I think the team is already like they're thinking about like I think next season
Are they going to
probably
draft someone this year?
probably
Like
probably cutting him. Like
Penix?
he's gonna be cap casualty by next season. I can guarantee you it. Unless he has some kind of like resurgence this coming season.
Is
I
DeVito
don't
going to
think.
start some games?
Uh, I mean, I liked what I saw in DeVito. If I'm being honest, it's unfortunate that he
Tell
got
me
kind of
you have
carried.
a little DeVito
No, I
bench,
don't. I
like a
don't.
little one.
But
Come
I can't.
on.
I can't yet. I can't.
Come
But he got a little carried away with his theatrics and his like focus wasn't on football where it should have been when he was starting. Like he was worried about making
He
like
was living the life,
ragu
man.
ragu commercials and like
That
sauce
man,
commercials and like deli
listen,
advertisements. Like he got too carried away. Like he should have
he
lived in the
didn't think
spotlight.
there was any way in hell he'd ever be the starting quarterback for the Giants in his life.
Right.
The kid was living a dream.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame. There was a lot of talent with him, I think.
Right.
Could have, but he didn't take it, I think, as seriously as he should have when you're the starting quarterback of the New York Giants. And
I
unfortunately,
just
Jones is getting paid like $40 million. They can't just bench a $40 million player. So they'll ride him
no.
out. He's got to get through some injuries this season. Like he's got to, stay healthy. That's another thing that kind of worries me about him because he is a mobile running quarterback. So he necessarily can't do like what makes him a good quarterback.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
for Wandell, I think some of the routes that he runs, um, a guy like Jones can still make Wandell a good player. Like he doesn't have to run like a 60-yard bomb route.
Oh no, he could take anything to the house. I'll give that to you. He
Yeah.
just hasn't done it much in his career. What running backs do you like in here? I'm not touching Dobbins.
Okay.
I
I
don't
would have
mind
said I'd take a lot of
Gainwell.
Dobbins, but Gainwell maybe.
God damn it, Nick. This is it. We like a lot of different
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
It's
for sure.
interesting.
Gainwell for
Um,
me. If you don't believe in Swift coming back,
yeah, I don't hate it.
my thing with
Oh, whoops! I just got autoed again, and it went Izzy.
my thing with Israel is that you kind of already know he's the backup, so you're
Yeah,
drafting him hoping that Brees Hall gets hurt, and
I
the
mean, I
upside
don't
is
think there's
immense.
any way in hell the Eagles go into this season with Kenneth Gainwell as the starting running back. But I get what you're saying. There's a chance, but
Yeah, there's a chance of it, and
it ain't gonna happen.
that's what I would buy into if you're clicking on Gainwell. But yeah, even a guy like Singletary, if they don't bring back Swift, like Singletary is a better fit than Gainwell, in my opinion. I think he's a better running back on paper.
Um, is Dobbins a free agent?
Yes, he's
I'm
a
pretty
free agent.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, do you think he's coming back?
No,
Who do you want here?
I don't think so. But I think a team will take a shot on him. I do.
I saw something posted. I think it was in Discord that Tank's gonna get some more touches. We have Ridley and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, there's definitely been some hate on ETN.
Oh, I love ETN, but I'm down to take Tank. I can like them both.
For J.K. Dobbins, I've clicked on him a lot because I think his ADP is cheap enough to take a shot at it. I do think the Ravens probably move on from him because of his injury history, but I do think that opens up the door for other teams that might need a running back, and or maybe like they want a running back to complement somebody else, like Stevenson, for example. Like maybe they just want a running back that can take 10 carries away from him in the script, and then I think Dobbins is skilled enough, depending on the team, he could carve out a larger role down the season, depending on what team takes a shot at him.
The man has torn every freaking tendon you could possibly tear. Like,
Yeah,
at
but
what point do
that's
we?
baked into the ADP, I think.
But sure, at what point do we just say again? This is similar to you were taking a bunch of Demario and all that, and not snagging rookies there. Like,
Yeah,
why take the dude who's got a freaking robotic leg at this point? over Will Shipley, over Kamani Vidal, over Frank Gore, over Dylan John. I mean, any of them,
Yeah.
and over Ronnie
No,
Rivers. Like
you're
the
not wrong
backup
by
to,
any means. You're
like,
not
I
wrong.
can't click it.
All that is fair. I mean, it's completely fair. I hear you
Like,
out. I
I
do
just
think
can't do
that
it.
I think if he's healthy, like we know J.K. Dobbins is a good player.
Yeah.
He's got to be healthy though. I mean,
And like, at what point do we look at a player and be like, you know what? It sucks for him, but he's probably not that dude anymore. And I get it. It's the 20th round. I'm not like have a bag of anybody at this point. No one's right or wrong.
right.
That's
I
just
would say this is my
that's
last
why
year.
I don't have
Like,
any.
I'm okay taking a shot on J.K., but after this season, if it doesn't turn out well for him, and everything you're saying is correct, I'm out on him after
Yeah.
this year. That's my stance.
All right, you got a favorite last person? Kind
Um,
of wouldn't did he go? Did
what are we
our
looking
big
at?
man go?
Do we want to build out another running back spot, or do we want to allocate it? I think running back would make more sense with our build. I think you have
I think
enough
running
receiver
back makes
capital,
yeah.
and your tight ends are good. Your quarterbacks are good. Michael Carter
Kamani,
is Michael. Yeah, yeah, that's a good click. I like that. Let's do it. He had a good combine. I like Michael Carter.
Kendall.
Yep, I like Kendall too.
See, these are the clicks I'm usually looking for. How many people do you think have clicked this guy thinking it was the dude that broke out?
Yeah, definitely.
You think there's
You're
been
right.
one or two that were like, "Oh, dude, no one's grabbing him. I'm gonna be the guy that has like a bag of Pete Guerrero." Yeah. Do you have one you like more than this out of these two? I know Adam loves
I've
Kendall.
drafted Michael Carter because I do know like Connor's gonna miss some time. He's gonna miss
Yeah,
some time.
that's fair.
He's a good
We're gonna go
backup
Kendall
running
here.
back, I think, and he's a good handcuff. But for these rookies, like I like these two rookies too.
Yeah,
So
I want
overall,
Kendall.
I think
I don't have any
team
Kendall
looks
yet.
nice. I think you did. I think this was a good draft.
We did good navigating the waters of who we like and don't like. I think.
And look, dude, it's fine. I mean, it's okay to have differing opinions. I mean, that's what
Oh
makes
yeah,
best ball. I mean, that's what makes best ball fun. Like, if you like
it's
a player and you have a stance on them, it makes it all more, fun rooting for that player. If you're higher on somebody, let's say, than somebody else.
yeah. Okay,
Let's go over some
we're
drafts
back
here.
in. We're back in.
Let's give you guys
Touchdown Source
the good
is not
old
a pounder,
Pat,
right?
draft grading.
Vinny's the first pounder, right?
Yep.
Think.
Let's go. Let's take a look at Vinny's team here.
All right, Vin. You want to take over? You want me to lead it?
We got a 3-7-7-3 build with Burrow, Rogers, and Jones. I think that is. I mean, I'm not personally big on Jones, but I think that's a good quarterback room for three quarterbacks. Tight ends.
Oh, okay.
We got Waller
Ooh.
to pair with Jones, Conklin to pair with Rogers, and Jordan.
Waller's a little risky at the moment. Yeah.
But if you're going to buy into Jones, it makes sense, like to take Waller. I mean, yeah, it is risky with him possibly retiring, but
Nick, do you have any Waller?
nope, 0.
Is Wandale the only Giant that you're drafting?
I mean, I've drafted a good amount of Barkley. I mean,
He doesn't
technically
count.
he doesn't count. So
No.
then I have a little bit of Jalen Hyatt, like a little bit.
Okay.
Mostly Wandell. I mean, look, I'm taking a stand on who I think is their best.
You gotta have a
player.
Giant. I like it. Anyways.
So yeah, I think the tight end's good. It's correlated. Running backs, what do we got?
Ooh, you're bouncing all over.
I'm doing what
All
Pat does. He does the quarterbacks, tight ends, then he does running backs, receivers. I don't want to throw off the channel too much. I'm trying to keep the program.
Fair enough. I'm on the right page.
We got Kamara, we got Chubb, we got Eckler. So right away we're taking some risks at some of these positions and hoping the upside is there for them. We got Charbonnet. We got Keandre Miller. So basically, I guess hoping that Kamara isn't a Saint and Miller is, the Saints RB1, and you get two positions that way.
Vinny also
Um,
got damn near round of value on all those guys.
which is, I think,
single one.
I think that's the only way to draft them if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So J.K. Dobbins and then Gainwell. So we got a pretty old room here for running backs.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't hate it. I just it's not one you usually see.
No. You don't want to do this
Ben.
you don't want to do this team too much. Like, you don't want to have this like combination of teams, like a huge exposure to this kind of concept. But I think having like maybe one or two is probably fun.
Yeah.
Receiver room looks pretty stacked right away. We got Chase, Diggs, Evans, Flowers, Ridley. So right away, that's like perfect. Shakir and Lockett.
That's got to be one of the best receiver rooms in the draft without knowing all the teams.
Benny's team is very high risk, high reward, I would say, especially with how he built the running backs. But
tight end could be rough this season. Like
that's probably rough.
But other than that, good.
Yep. We got next. You take the lead on this one.
All right, Vapor with the snipe at 115 at Tua. Deshaun Watson and Geno. I think that's a fine quarterback room. I probably would have stopped at 2, but I do a lot of 2 quarterback builds.
I think it's solid. I think the third is good in that build.
Tight end McBride and Njoku. Njoku stacked. Good 2 tight end room.
Yep.
Running back, one with the 2 running back room. Ooh, looking at the receivers will be fun. Brees Hall, Achane, Stevenson, Pollard, Gibson. Looks
I like it.
Running back
like
room I would have. Yeah.
Yep.
And then, here, this is where all the rookies went. Okay, at receiver, DK, Amari, Cortland Sutton, Keon Coleman, Roman Wilson, Xavier Legette, Ricky Pearsall, Jermaine Burton, Jalen McMillan, and Cornelius Johnson. I don't know.
Cornelius Johnson is a name that I don't see much. I'm going to have to
I don't know
check him out.
Yeah. So if you could fill me in, Vapor, that would be nice. But it looks good. You didn't even have to reach a whole lot on the rookies that are shooting up boards. So
these are good rookies. You just need to have a couple of them actually.
I wish Sutton was a little bit, just a little bit better. Not even a lot better. Just a tad. But I think it can work. I like it.
Sutton's got upside though, because Judy might be on his way out. He might be the only.
And he scored 10 touchdowns last year.
Yeah. So they just need to figure out the quarterback. Who's throwing the ball though? That's the biggest question there.
Yeah. JJ McCarthy to the Broncos. All right, moving on. Is Farachi a pounder?
I think Farachi. I've seen him in patch streams a lot, so let's go over his team.
All righty. Go for it.
We got Murray, Drake May, Bryce Young. Pretty good. What do you think of his quarterback room with Murray?
I just stopped at 2, but I like it. Kyler Murray, I think, is a lot of people's in our Discord love that pick at 90, and quarterback 1, happy with it. I feel like everybody likes the Kyler Murray pick. All the streamers like it, but he's not really moving up much. It's a little interesting.
Right.
But because he's going to shoot up as soon as they draft Marv, or worst case scenario, one of Neighbors
probably. Yeah.
I don't understand it, but we should keep. I like that.
Like that for sure. We got Hawkinson, Sanders.
Oh my goodness, that's another sketchy.
Yeah, I mean, so with Hawkinson, hard to say with when is he going to be ready to play, and then you have Sanders and Fant trying to carry that load for you. But
Sanders,
I think when you draft Hawkinson, you kind of need to prioritize your second tight end to be somewhat relevant to carry that weight for a little bit.
I know Sanders had a rough 42. Did he do the athletically test better? Does anyone know? I don't know. We're gonna have to find that out. Yeah, his 40 time was
rough.
No, he cost me some money. Well, I actually won. Never mind. He won mine because his 40 yard dash time was set at 4.5, which if that dude ran in the 4.4s, he'd have been a top 10 pick.
100%. Yeah. Right. What do we got for running backs here?
Oh, whoops. Kyron. Oh, you're up.
We got Kyron, James Cook, David Montgomery, Tyler Algier, and Deuce Vaughn. Yeah, good running back room. Deuce Vaughn,
I haven't seen
maybe.
Deuce clicked much.
Yeah, and he's the only running back on a contract for Dallas, so that's interesting. I like it. I like it.
It's not my favorite, but I think it can work.
So he paired his Kyron with Puka, but no Stafford. So interesting there. Probably maybe got sniped on him. Malik Neighbors, Jordan Addison, Hopkins, Ladd, Dotson, Wilson to pair with Murray. Love that. Malik Washington and Jonathan Mingo to pair with. Did he have Bryce Young on this team, I think?
Yes. No. Yes.
So he did pair his Bryce Young to Mingo. So, yeah, pretty
The stack
well thought out
need.
receiver room.
Yeah, I like it. I don't have any Mingo myself. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on the Carolina quarterback receivers, but
I don't know. I feel like the Deuce Vaughn thing's messing with me. I feel like it needs one more running back.
yeah, especially because Tyler Algier is not getting probably a ton.
But I also feel like it needs another tight end.
Yeah,
so we need to lop off,
like you said, you cut out
these two.
You cut out Mingo and Bryce Young, and you allocate that to a running back and tight end, and this team.
Boom.
There you go.
We are cooking with gas, Barachi. All right. Next one. King of Qs. I don't think that's a pounder, is it?
Don't think so.
Just yell at us in the chat if I skip over you. Mario, I know this 10 is Ben.
Okay.
So let's do 10, and 8 and 9 yell at me if I skip you. All right. Ben went with Richardson and Love at quarterback. Solid 2 quarterback room with a little slide on Richardson. That's fun. Tight ends, Musgrave, Kraft, Dulcich. Double up the Packers tight end. I haven't seen that. I literally don't think I've seen it once. Greg Dulcich.
We also gotta check out King of QC.
I skipped someone.
So it's okay. We'll do that next. We'll do it next. No problem. Let's take a look at this team though.
Yeah, so those are tight ends. I mean, I think it's fine, especially if Dulcich.
I'm not a big fan of probably stacking like Musgrave with Kraft. Like I've
never seen it done. I don't hate it.
I had another stream where someone did it too, which is funny. But I would take a stand either way. I'm more Musgrave than Kraft, but hey, if you like Kraft, take him. Just I wouldn't take them together.
I feel like
you're limiting the ceiling of your team that way.
Wasn't Kraft like better when he was on the field? And I'd have to pull up some like stats, but I swear, like Kraft was just better when he was on the field. And
yeah, he definitely. I mean, look, he had to.
Are we just drafting Luke because he had a higher draft capital at this point? Like,
well, yeah, that's 100% what happened originally, and then when he went down and Kraft had to come in, he did pretty well. But again, if these guys are both healthy, like, do you see them both spiking together? Like,
not on the same week, but I could 100% see these guys being in like a tight end by committee. And yeah, you're just locking down the Packers tight end room. I don't love it, but I get the thought.
Yeah, I get you there. And then Greg Dulcich is questionable.
I haven't drafted him.
He's questionable.
So I don't like hate it because I see what the pick is, but I haven't done it myself. So
got it. What do we got for the rest of the squad?
Gibbs, Etienne, Brown, Corum, Wright, Lobb. I think that's fine running back room. You got your starters to count on, and let's throw some darts, baby. I think you could hit on some of these guys. So I like that.
Bring in my Long Island boy from West Hampton Beach, Dylan Labe. Love it.
I was like, who's from West Hampton? I've drafted him a few times, but I feel like he's like I don't see anybody else. I should take a rookie running back, no matter who it is, type click.
He's going to be an interesting draft pick for a team. Like, he seems like a fun player, but he's really like a utility guy for a team, like Danny Woodhead-esque. So.
Okay. And I forget who the quarterbacks were. Richardson and Love. All right. Receivers: Marvin Harrison, Tank Dell, Chris Godwin, Romeo Dobbs, Marquise Brown, Adam Thielen, Devontae Walker. I think that's a great receiver room. You kind of have all of it.
This is kind of how I like to do it too.
I'm struggling with Thielen.
Yeah, same. I can't click on him.
But he's fine in this build. Like I don't not like him here. I'm just not clicking him.
The Smith click, I haven't seen his name in a lot of drafts, so I guess maybe he had a good combine to keep a note on.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot. Ben, tell me about him in Discord. Thank you. I like Cowing. He's fun, even though he's tiny, and I usually stay away from the tiny guys. And Devontae Walker ran well. So
yep, both good guys at the combine.
Sweet. All right.
We had another team in here.
Right there.
Nice. So we got a Mahomes, Goff. I think that's fine for 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. I love Mahomes where he's going. I know Pat's not like huge on him, but
I think he's got a good ADP. I mean, look, you're like getting him in that 4th, 5th round when Allen's going in the 2nd. Hurts sometimes goes in the 3rd, and Lamar's a 4th round guy. So you're getting pretty good value on an elite quarterback.
Yep, that we expect to get a weapon.
And then we bring in Sam Laporta,
Andrews.
Goff,
just flex on us.
Yeah, this is a sick tight end room. Tight end room. Good quarterbacks.
We don't need to say anymore.
Running backs. We have James Conner, Jalen Warren, Chuba Hubbard, Roshan Johnson. Then he also handcuffs it with Herbert and Pierce.
See, I like the handcuff here. You're like, listen, I get that these guys are a little bit ambiguous, but they're both cheap enough that let me just get the starter.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know necessarily if it's great AV. Like, I think I've done it past seasons too, where I've handcuffed players because they were in RB committees. I don't necessarily think it benefited my team by doing it. I think you're better off taking a stand, like I kind of said with Musgrave and Kraft, and just hoping that you got the right one.
As you say, you're better off if you take the stand on the right guy. I don't know. I just feel like
you're better off if you take the stand on the right guy and then bring in a different running back that could bring value to you. But
yeah,
it shouldn't hurt his team too much because it's like his 5th or 6th running back.
Yeah, so. I was gonna say they go at a part of the draft, and yeah, I don't hate it. I don't do it a whole lot, but it's cheap enough.
It's cheaper than doing like Harris and Warren, for example.
I like it. Especially when you have guys you can count on in front of them. You're just like, all right, let me lock this down. They're basically my 4th running back.
Correct. Yep.
Oops.
Nice, dude. I like this a lot, man. He's got his stacks. He got St. Brown to pair with Goff with Laporta. You got Rice to pair with Mahomes. That's awesome. Brian Thomas is a guy that we all seem to like. Mike Williams, upside. Marvin Mims, Palmer, Elijah Moore, Brendan Rice, and Josh Reynolds. Again, probably not going to be a Lion though, but I can't. He almost had like 100, like 100 out of 100 until I read Kadarius Toney's name.
Let's see. I don't have any Mike Williams. I don't think I have any Marvin Mims, and I have like.
I can understand
3 Josh Palmer.
I can understand those picks better than Toney. Like,
yeah. Oh no, I don't have Toney either. I love this team. I'm not bagging on it, by the way. I'm just
I almost wanted to give this team like 100 out of 100 score, and when I read Toney's name, now it's got like a little slight imperfection to it.
It's like, damn it,
you were almost so perfect.
Close. No, I like this team. I think it's got upside. I think it's got safety. I think it's got youth. I think it's got veterans. I think it's a solid team.
Yeah, I'm also not a big fan of Dameon Pierce, but I mean, he is the only running back on contract for Houston. I do think they're going to bring in a heavy guy like Henry or Mark.
I didn't even see
his role is going to be like, nothing. So I don't really necessarily. I'd rather take a shot like you do, like at rookies, instead of taking Pierce.
I don't have any Pierce.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, it's a pretty solid draft outside of maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3
Great
clicks.
job. What do we have, Vinny?
I think we did, Vinny.
Oops, we went the wrong way.
Anybody else that we're
there we go.
missing?
Vapor, Farachi, King, Ben, Shock Drama?
Shock Drama, I see him in chat.
Yeah, I think he's the last one. I don't think Danky is. All right,
Last
Shock.
one. Take it away, man.
You're up. You got Fields, Prescott, Caleb. That's a perfect quarterback room. Probably one of the best in the league, honestly. Oh, the one we just saw is pretty good too. But
this is a great quarterback room.
Yeah.
Agree.
Otten, Chiggy, Henry. I think that's about as far as you could push a 3 tight end build, but I like it.
Yep.
Right? Like,
yeah,
I don't think I'd want to go much like cheaper with my tight ends, but I like that.
Yep.
And none were stacked, right? No.
Nope.
Derrick Henry, Raheem Mostert, Ty Chandler, Jerome Ford, Gus Edwards, Rico Dowdle. I mean, I think it's contingent on Henry going somewhere we like, right?
Yep.
And then you've got solid. I'm not taking Ty Chandler myself, but he fell 13 picks, so maybe. I'm also not taking Mostert much, but he fell. I know I'm not taking Mostert or Chandler much, but they fell a lot, and like I get the pick. Yeah, it's a solid running back room. And right. Garrett Wilson, DJ Moore, T. Higgins, Devontae Smith. Oh, I was like, that seems off to me. George Pickens, Quentin Johnson, Juwan Jennings, Luke McCaffrey. Juwan Jennings is an interesting play.
Receivers are great. And no matter what, he's going to have the quarterback for Chicago paired with DJ Moore. So whether it's Fields or Caleb Williams, you got the quarterback to stack.
Nick, it is not Fields. Can we stop?
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, we skipped someone at 4. Hold up. Goodness, we had a lot of pounders in this draft. I skipped you, J-Dub? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. My bad. Nick, you're up. Take it away.
That's last one. Let's see what we got. We got Jaden Daniels. We got Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr. Solid quarterback room there. You definitely want to have 3 guys if you're going to start.
Yeah, I would go 3 with that. Yeah.
Yep.
And
but
I don't
upside,
go 3 much,
upside is great on Jaden Daniels. And then you have 2 kind of floor quarterbacks. Maybe Baker's a little bit more of a spiky quarterback than Carr. But
yeah. Watch what you say about Baker.
We got George Kittle, Evan Ingram. I think you maybe could have stopped there, but
I would have.
Yeah, I think so too. But Kmet is a good tight end, so hard to knock Kmet. But I don't know where what that pick would have looked like for this team.
Could have been
maybe anything. We'll figure that out in a second. But I think you could get away with Kittle and Ingram for sure. It's pretty expensive draft capital on tight end already.
Okay. Anyways.
For running backs, we have Pacheco, Rashad White, Mixon, Elijah Mitchell, AJ Dillon, and Michael Carter. I think this is a good running back room. I think you got good handcuffs and Pacheco, White, Mixon.
Mixon at pick 100 is pretty sweet.
That's pretty ideal.
Yeah, like if he was going at pick 100, I'd have so much Mixon. So I am trying to I think he's going to be a Bengal, man, for the same reason Higgins. I think he's going to not get enough money on the open market to go anywhere else. His best spot.
Well, he's got to get cut first. That's the big thing. Will the Bengals actually cut him? I mean, if we're going to look at
is that what it is? I haven't looked
if we're looking at from efficiency, I get where people are like, Mixon's not really the answer. He wasn't that efficient, but he's only 27 years old. He's pretty young still for a running back that could get 1,000 rushing yards. I don't mind Mixon. I really don't take much Chase Brown yet because you need to clear the waters first with Mixon. They're not just going to have Mixon not play if he stays. I mean, Chase Brown is not just going to completely force Mixon to the bench.
It looks like they can save about $6 million by cutting Mixon.
Yeah. And if it gets cut, there's teams that could use him. He's gonna be playing. Yeah. That's for sure. He's not
Yeah,
gonna be watching games like
we
us.
want him with the Bengals though. Like I feel
Yeah.
like that's the ideal spot.
Oh,
And
100%. It's a great offense.
um, anyways, back to the receivers. Sorry.
We got Jefferson, Adams, Debo, Deontay, Jerry Judy, Cooks, Zay Jones, and Boyd. So no rookie darts in this one. Just kind of just getting, consistent guys.
Grabbing the Zay Jones and the Tyler Boyds that are falling because everyone's reaching. I like it.
On everybody else. Yeah.
Zay is one I'm gonna have a lot of now that the rookies are going up. I like that click.
Yep. Yep. I like it too. I think the it's a pretty solid receiver room. There's not really too many question marks, like outside of where
No.
Boyd signs. Judy maybe having to find a new team. Um, Cook's age maybe is my only concern, but I think he's a good receiver.
Yeah. I think that's
All right.
it. I guess
Very
we didn't
good,
really
man.
go over ours, but
That was great, guys. Great teams. Great drafting. Hope you guys enjoyed our stream today. Drew, you got anything for the people?
No, I think that was fun. Smash the freaking like button so me and Nick can make fun of Pat that our stream got more likes than his. Like, let's go for like 75. I don't know. I'll talk Pat into giving some more stuff away if it hits that.
I love it.
But yeah, it was fun. Pat needs to go out of town more often.
Guys, thanks for joining us today. Hope you guys enjoyed our stream. Hope you guys had fun drafting with us. And Pounders, we'll see you.